Alright, now we're doing 7Q, the dropWhile function. This is by J.G. Dodson, and 89% of the people like it. Yet another staple for the functional programmer. We have a sequence of values and some predicate for those values. We want to remove the longest prefix of elements such that the predicate is true for each element. We'll call this the dropWhile function. It accepts two arguments. The first is the sequence of values, and the second is the predicate function. The predicate function does not change the value of the original sequence. Okay, so basically on here we'll be given something like this, and it's like return if even. So if the element divided by 2 does not leave a remainder or is 0, if the remainder of number divided by 2 is 0, then we're going to drop it, and then once this is not true, that's when we're going to start the sequence up again. So we're going to drop 2, 4, 6, 8, and then we're going to start the sequence from here, and that's what we're going to return, just like that. Our task is to implement the dropWhile function, and here's some other stuff. All right, so basically, since it's called dropWhile, we're going to use a while loop. Okay, and we're going to say while r.length and pred of r at index 0 exist, we're going to say r.shift. I'll explain to you what that means in just a second. The shift method removes the first element from an array and returns that removed element. Okay, so basically it's just going to take away that and put it somewhere else. Okay, and so basically when this happens, whatever's left over is going to be something like this. Okay, and so like the 1's going to be missing, and then the 2 on the next one, the 2 is going to be the index at the index 0 is going to be missing, and then the index 0 on the next one's going to be missing, and then whatnot. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. And then once this is not true anymore, because it's just going to be checking even or odd. Once it's not true anymore, like the first time it gets to an odd, it's going to just return the whole thing. We're just going to say return r, just like that. And let's test it out, see what happens. All right, good. Attempt it. And we're at 9 milliseconds. Let's see if we can beat it with something a little shorter. Okay. And to do that, we're going to change this up. Const here, dropWhile, put an equals sign right there. And for the rest of this stuff, we're going to change it into an arrow. All right. And so we're going to say on this one, first things first, let me pull out the ternary operator. We're going to use a ternary operator on this one. And the ternary operator is the only JavaScript operator that takes 3 operands: a condition followed by a question mark, then an expression to execute if the condition is truthy, followed by a colon, and finally the expression to execute if the condition is falsy. And this operator is frequently used as the alternative to if-else statements. Okay, so that being said, we're going to say while r.length and pred r at index 0 exists, just like the other one. On this one, we're going to use the slice method because the shift doesn't work on this one. And the slice method returns a shallow copy of a portion of an array to a new array object selected from start to end, and the end is not included, where start and end represent the index of items in that array. Right? So like let's say on this one where it says slice 2. So it's going to start from 2. So 0, 1, 2. It's going to start from here. All right. What we're going to need is slice 1 because we're trying to get this one out of here if it's whatever the predicate function is looking for. Right. So to do that, we're going to say r.slice, and we're going to say 1, just like that. And when it gets to the case where it's not, this is not true, we're going to say r, just like that. All right. Test it out. Nope. What's the problem? Pred R0. Oh yeah, what am I talking about? I messed up. What we're going to do here is use recursion. Alright, let me show you what recursion is. The recursion is the act of a function calling itself to solve problems that contain smaller sub-problems. So we're going to call this function on itself. My bad. Maybe I should just redo the video, but I'll see in editing. Let me see. We're doing, oh yeah, recursion. So we're going to do dropWhile. dropWhile. And then we're going to say r.slice. That's going to be the first parameter. And then the second parameter, like it is over here, is pred. So it's just going to be like that, except for it's going to be r.slice1 and pred. Hopefully this works now. Okay, cool. Alright. We'll see what it's like. 10 milliseconds. This is the loser anyway, so it doesn't even matter. Alright? So I'm getting rid of this regardless. Let's go back in time to when this actually worked quickly. Alright? Right here. Test it out one more time. Attempt it. Submit it. Very much like this one. Let's go to My Solutions. Best practice on in my opinion, 22 of us plus these folks, and we'll see you next time.